I'm going to tell you about something that has no proof in science yet. But theoretically it's possible, and I want to tell you about it, and it's called wormholes. Well, you know, worms can go through fruit and dig a hole through it, or they can go through the bark of a tree. So worms dig holes and go through from one place to another. Well, you hear of wormholes in astronomy a lot, and especially in science fiction. When you read science fiction stories, you hear about wormholes. What are wormholes? Wormholes are a way that science fiction authors found a way for spaceships to travel from one point to another between the stars without taking forever. Because, as you know, the distances between stars are in the dozens or hundreds of trillions of kilometers. So it's not really practical with our current technology to travel from one star to another. It will just take far too long. For example, if we wanted to go to our nearest star, which is Alpha Centauri, from Earth here, it will take about 50,000 years with today's technology. 50,000 years is just not practical. So, excuse me. So it's not possible for us to travel in space practically without finding a different technology or a different way. So in science fiction they invented wormholes. The reason I bring that up is because it's common. You hear that a lot, and I would like you to understand what it means, but also because theoretically, according to some astronomers and their calculations, it's possible to have wormholes, and it's possible to go through them to travel in space. How does it work exactly? Let me show you with this very simple illustration. Look at this newspaper here. You see there's point A and point B. If you want to go from A to B or from B to A, and if you're a bacterium, which is very, very tiny, or an ant, to travel the whole distance across the newspapers from A to B or B to A, it will take a long time. Okay? And the same for us in space. If we want to go from one star to another, it will take a very long time to go straight line like that. So there's a solution in science fiction, and theoretically it's possible, as I mentioned. And what's the solution? If you take the newspaper and curve it, like you curve space. You know, we know that you can curve space and bend it. So if you take a newspaper and curve it like you curve space, then A and B become close to each other, you see? And so, therefore, going from A to B will take much less time and will be very fast. So a worm or a bacterium or an ant that wants to go from A to B now can do it in much less time than having to go the whole straight line if you curve the newspaper, which is possible to do in space too. You can curve space and therefore make A and B closer to each other. I don't know how soon in the future our technology in the future will enable us to accomplish such an incredible feat, but if we did, it will be amazing, because then we can travel between the stars without spending thousands of years on the way. So we can travel much faster, and that's the whole idea. You will hear that a lot about wormholes, and I thought I'll just bring that up, although it has no evidence of its existence and no evidence of anyone ever even being close to figuring it out, but I thought I'll bring it up now so you can understand it.